roads, bridges, and major projects, passenger and freight rail, highway and pedestrian safety, public transit, broadband, ports and waterways, airports, water infrastructure, power and grid reliability and resiliency, including funding for coastal resiliency, ecosystem restoration, and weatherization, clean school buses and ferries, electric vehicle charging, addressing legacy pollution by cleaning up brownfield and Superfund sites and reclaiming abandoned mines, and 14. Western water infrastructure. Division A Surface Transportation. Surface Transportation Reauthorization Act of 2021. This division reauthorizes Department of Transportation, DOT, Federal Aid Highway and Transportation Infrastructure Finance and Innovation, TIFIA, programs, revises research, technology, and workforce education programs, and addresses tribal transportation needs. The effective date of this division is October 1, 2021. Title I Federal Aid Highways. Among other provisions, this title 1. Reauthorizes through FY 2026 several surface transportation programs, including the Federal Aid Highway Program, Transportation Infrastructure Finance and Innovation Program, TIFIA, Federal Lands Access and Tribal Transportation Programs, Territorial and Puerto Rico Highway Program, and nationally significant freight and highway projects. 2. Reauthorizes through FY 2026 other transportation programs, including the Bridge Investment Program, Congestion Relief Program, Charging and Fueling Infrastructure Grants, the Rural Surface Transportation Grant Program, Reduction of Truck Emissions at Port Facilities, Nationally Significant Federal Lands and Tribal Projects, Ferry Boat Construction, and Research, Technology, and Education Programs. 3. Provides statutory authority for DOT's Safe Routes to School program. 4. Establishes a wildlife crossing pilot grant program to reduce wildlife vehicle collisions. 5. Directs DOT to encourage states to develop a voluntary human capital plan for the transportation-related workforce needs of the states. 6. Provides statutory authority for federal agency coordination and streamlining of environmental reviews and authorizations for major infrastructure projects. Addresses climate change by establishing a grant program for the deployment of publicly accessible electric vehicle charging infrastructure, hydrogen fueling infrastructure, propane fueling infrastructure, and natural gas fueling infrastructure along designated alternative fuel corridors, establishes the Healthy Streets Grant Program, provides for bicycle transportation and pedestrian walkways, designates additional routes within the Central Texas Corridor as high-priority corridors within the national highway system, and requires DOT to provide grants to eliminate or control invasive plants and carry out pollinator-friendly practices on roadsides and highway rights-of-way, including the planting and seeding of native, locally appropriate grasses and wildflowers. Title II Transportation Infrastructure Finance and Innovation. This title reauthorizes through FY 2026 the State Infrastructure Bank Program and revises the TIFIA program. Under the existing TIFIA program, DOT provides loans with low interest rates and loan guarantees with low repayment terms to borrowers to undertake certain transportation infrastructure programs. This title revises program requirements, including by expanding eligibility to airport-related projects, requiring DOT to establish a process to expedite certain loans, and setting forth provisions to increase transparency in the review process for projects seeking TIFIA funding. Title III Research, Technology, and Education. This title requires DOT to revise its workforce education program and establish certain research and technology programs. Among other requirements, DOT must establish a program to test the feasibility of a road usage fee and other user-based alternative revenue mechanisms to help maintain the long-term solvency of the Highway Trust Fund. 2. Establish pilot programs to demonstrate a national motor vehicle per mile user fee, facilitate the integration of data about weather conditions, road conditions, and information from emergency responders, conduct emerging technology research, including advanced and additive manufacturing technologies, and improve transportation planning. 3. Establish animal detection systems that reduce the number of wildlife vehicle collisions, and 4. Designate 10 regional centers of excellence for resilience and adaptation and a national center of excellence for resilience and adaptation to promote the resilience of surface transportation infrastructure from natural disasters, extreme weather, and the effects of climate change.